and today I'm here with Callum. Callum is, as he's just said for me to say to you, a gay YouTube boy. But today we're basically going to be reacting to Queerbaiting. The first clip is from a show called Teen Wolf. We're going to watch a couple of quite infamous scenes.
Okay.
I thought you liked girls.
I do like girls. Do you?
Absolutely.
Great.
So you also like boys?
Absolutely. Do you?
I said I love you.
So then, because I thought the queerbaiting there was on the girl.
No,
But-
so she was confirmed to have a girlfriend in like one of the early episodes of the season, and then made out with him, and then basically come out as sort of bisexual there quite openly. And then he has that realization moment.
And it leaves, but is it leaving it open-ended whether he likes boys or not?
But, so here's the interesting thing, in the rest of that scene, he sort of also seems to be having a realization about like the case that they're solving, whatever.
Okay.
But they've placed that realization moment
There,
immediately
deliberately.
after. So they have plausible deniability.
That genuinely, I've never ever seen that before, and that genuinely really annoys me because they're doing that thing where it makes it so that they get to appeal to the gay audience, but they also don't get to annoy any like homophobic people or alienate people.
It's such a, and the funny thing about Teen Wolf is that Teen Wolf has had a couple of gay characters, and they use it all the time in their like press to kind of talk about and hype up how LGBT friendly they are. It's one of the like classic queerbaiting shows. So there's actually another scene.
I'm a virgin, okay? And you know what that means? It means that my lack of sexual experience is now literally a threat to my life, okay? I need to have sex, like right now. Someone needs to have sex with me, like today. Like someone needs to sex me right now.
All right, I'll do it.
Whoa! What?
Come to my place at 9. Plan to stay the night. I like to cuddle.
That was so sweet. Are you kidding?
Yes. I'm kidding.
Okay, you don't toy with a guy's emotions like that, Danny. It's not attractive, all right?
So this.
Who else is a virgin?
So Danny is a character who's gay in the show.
But the other one again.
But this is one of the main characters, Stiles, who apparently is straight or like there's never been anything confirmed he's anything other
So
than
why
straight.
do they keep teasing us in this way? Why do they keep giving us these like little breadcrumbs? That is not even fun. That's just, it's like borderline offensive.
Yeah.
Or just flat out offensive.
Yeah, I'm not even arguing with that because it's a kind of scene that's such fan service, but then they'll I think there are a lot of shows that argue that it's like, well, don't you want to see strong male friendship that's healthy and heterosexual? Like, don't you think that men deserve friendships? Why are you having to romanticize it? And I think it's such a weird gaslighting thing to do to someone.
Absolutely.
To, like, have scenes like this and then be like, why can't men just be comfortable enough in their sexuality to? And I'm like, comfortable enough in their sexuality to want to sleep with other men. There's one more clip I want to show you of this. So this was a promotional piece that came out.
Okay.
So this is a video that Teen Wolf produced.
So it's not part of the show.
Not part of the show. This is a video that was produced by Teen Wolf in order to encourage people to vote for them.
Oh no, I know I'm gonna hate this already.
Tyler.
Yeah.
Wake up. We're on a ship. Pun intended. Whoa. Hey, man. Hey, buddy.
Oh, hey, guys.
Oh, hey, guys.
Whoa, there's like a whole bunch of people right there.
Yeah, whoa. Didn't see the audience. We should.
Oh, we were supposed to tell them something.
I want to ask if you guys can vote for Teen Wolf, the Teen Choice Awards.
For Choice Summer Show.
Best Choice Summer Show. Yeah. Can you please do it? Because if you do,
We'll take
it's all that needs to be said.
We'll take more notes. I'm still tired.
Let's go back to sleep.
Like they're literally queerbaiting and not even hiding it. They're going, hey, we want votes from you, so we're gonna pretend that we're gay, but we're never gonna actually confirm it. We're just gonna tease you with it.
Yeah.
And I get it, like they're trying to be cute and they're trying to do, and I'm sure that like some of the people behind this weren't doing it with malicious intent, or maybe didn't even realize that it was problematic. But just like give us proper representation and don't like representation is so important to LGBT plus people, and I feel like using it as a like something to dangle in front of us as a maybe this is a thing,
It'll happen.
but then never actually confirm it. it's frustrating beyond
think-
belief.
yeah.
And if a little bit of teasing is okay, like if you're planning to make an LGBT plus character and maybe you want to like build up to that, that's different. But I mean, how many seasons has this show been going?
It's like 6 or 7 now.
And they've
something
never
like that.
confirmed
No.
this
I mean, it's
character's
finished now.
queer.
It's finished. The show's finished, and it's never been confirmed.
Right.
The next one is from a show called Riverdale. This is something that
Oh
someone sent me
no,
on
I
Twitter.
love Riverdale.
And I just watched this, and I was like, "What the fuck did I just watch?"
No.
Okay.
And fight! The fight! Woo! Go Bulldogs!
Ladies, where's the heat? Where's the sizzle?
Well, you haven't seen our big finish yet.
Don't freak out, just trust me.
Okay, so this watching this now, this really annoys me, and it was the music that really because the way they almost romanticized that moment,
Yeah,
which was
and then
in no
swells
way.
up, and it's the kind of music that you would expect for like a first kiss from a teen drama like
Yeah.
this. If it was like a straight couple kissing for the first time in an actual relationship.
But this wasn't that. This was just two girls, and both of these characters are straight, and they never come out as gay or otherwise. And
It's just because, and I think as well, like the two girls versus two boys thing. I think it's unlikely that they would have two boys kissing in the same way.
yes,
Because I think that the way that lesbians are sexualized in a way that's like for people to view, and so it's really interesting how queerbaiting, depending on like the gender of the people involved, can have these really different like reasonings behind them. So like this was kind of titillation for straight audiences,
Yeah, absolutely.
as well as for like lesbians who wanted to see some kind of representation. And this was in the first episode, right? So this is like in the first season. So this is like queerbaiting from the very start, like getting them hooked on the first episode.
I feel like as well, like I feel like 99% of like lesbian representation is always like sexualization of lesbian women for a straight audience, like you were saying.
Okay, so this next one is from a show, forgive me if pronouncing this wrong, Rizzoli and Isles, which is one that I only ever see because of how much people talk about how queer-baited the two leads are.
Okay, yeah.
And this is just one clip. People sent me so many clips from this show to demonstrate this. So this is just one of them.
Listen, I don't want to stand in the way of a great romance, okay?
What do you mean?
You and Tommy. I mean, clearly, opposites attract.
It's an evolutionary strategy to ensure healthy reproduction.
Okay, why do you gotta go straight to breeding? All right? With my brother.
Look, I like Tommy. A lot. But I love you. And I hate it when you hate me. So I don't want to do anything to compromise our friendship.
Good, because I hate it when I have to hate you.
Sip it slowly.
It was like the gayest shit I've ever seen in my life.
That, because like what is a bit upsetting is that like as that scene was opening and unfolding, I could feel like my heart almost swelling.
Yeah.
But to know that presumably these characters aren't lesbians and
No.
they never become lesbians is really sad. And again, like with one of the other clips that we watched, the music, it's this romantic music that comes in to cue romance.
Yeah,
that's
in your head.
You know, and that's not an accident. That's
And
not.
saying that, like, if that had been a guy and he'd have been like, I don't want to get in the way of your relationship with my brother, and then they'd have been like, I like him, but I love you. That would have been like all the people. It would have been like, oh, this is the start of the new ship on the show. Like,
Yeah,
shit, this is
yeah,
they're
yeah.
getting together by the end of
Yeah.
the season. And because of what's there's also an episode of this, which is that someone sent me as well, where they basically have to go undercover as lesbians.
Oh, for God's sake, they do.
And I think one of the difficult things with queerbaiting is that like we don't know where the buck stops. Like we don't know who is actually responsible. So it's very easy to be annoyed at the writers, I think, because you're like, well, you're the one who's writing this.
Yeah.
But I can see like that there are some shows. So like Korosami in Legend of Korra was like a kid show, and so the writers were explicitly told like you can't include this relationship in there explicitly, but they did as much as they could within the script to show that it was happening. And then at the end they basically walk into the sunset together hand in hand.
So it's suggested.
So it suggested as much as they could do, and so there's no point in being angry with the writers then, because the writers were doing everything they could.
Yeah.
But we only know that because they have been so open since the show ended about exactly what they were and went out to do. Whereas most of these things that are still on air, the writers can't come out and be like, the producers producers were dickheads because
Yes,
it's like they
absolutely.
won a job. But
But-
similarly, there might be actors that say that they refuse to do it if it gets brought up. They could have like agents of actors that say like, my client doesn't want to take that kind of role. Like, there's so many options that it could be, and we don't know. And for each one, it could be an individual situation. And I think that's what's the most frustrating is that
We don't know who's
queer people don't know
responsible
who to go to be like, look, here's our case, here's
Yeah.
here's the case we're going to put forward, and this is why it's problematic. But like, it's the reason why I have a policy where I don't think representation is ever a spoiler. So I will fucking spoil something. If something is representation, I will tell you that it has queer representation. I don't care if someone's like, oh, but I wanted it to be a surprise. I'm like, no, I want queer people to actually go and see this, and they won't if they think it's straight or like offensive in some way.
Yeah, like a person being gay shouldn't be a big scandalous shocker moment. It shouldn't be a twist.
Yeah, exactly.
It's never a twist that somebody's straight.
Yeah.
Why should it be a twist that somebody's gay?
Exactly.
I don't buy that at all.
Okay, so this is from a TV show called Scam. Apparently this is the Italian version of it.
So
Edgy
these
teenage
characters
show.
that we're about to watch aren't gay.
Yeah, this is the Italian one
Right,
apparently.
okay.
Comunque io sono Eleonora.
Eva, piacere.
Vai in bagno che un po' di trucco sbavato.
Ok, grazie.
Oh, that was a definitely.
Even though I knew it was queerbaiting, I even was pulled in by it and genuinely thought they were going to kiss. But I feel like there was like, not only was it her leaning in, being like that, but also her reaction was like, oh, it was like an I want this.
Yeah, I want this and uncertainty. Like, that to me was like the scene that you would have in like a coming out narrative.
There's so much going on there. Like, again, you could say, oh, it's just an accident, it wasn't intentional, but like the camera angles and everything else, it's all like foreshadowing romance.
Yeah, if you had a guy, again, I think it's like, if you just have to put a guy in that position, if you had a guy who came to a girl who leant over, stroked her hair, and then was like, oh, you had a bit of makeup on your face, like that's such a classic cliche
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
heterosexual romance moment, or like, oh, there's an eyelash on your cheek, like that kind of thing.
Bloody straight people.
So this is from a TV show called Supergirl. Have you seen Supergirl before?
No.
Okay, so the flowers, oh my god, you can't, like, there's just so much stuff that would just like be so romantic if it was like a heterosexual couple, like such a coding thing. And I think with this show, from like, I mean, I'm like guessing based on the fact that she's a Luther, that the whole thing is that like you're not meant to maybe trust her or not trust her. So like maybe the look is, it's like the same with the Teen Wolf thing where it's like, oh, his look of realization is actually about the case.
Yes.
It's like, oh, maybe her lingering look
It's actually
like is
some kind of
actually like, oh,
manipulation.
she's lingering because she's like evil and she's looking at her and stuff. But I'm like, you don't be like, oh, you're my hero. You're like, I've never had a friend like you before. There's all of these interesting little coded words that are like
absolutely.
super like queer coding. So the idea of like, oh, you're different, you're special. I've never had a friend like you before. We're special friends. They were like, it's all that kind of coding that's the same as like, oh yes, my spinster aunt, they were her special friend for 80 years.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost like the kind of language that we grow to hear and get used to when we're growing up gay. Like, you know, all that language we do use before that we come out, and all that kind of language that we hear used around us when people speak about us, and then suddenly you're hearing it here, and it's like a deliberate undertone of being queer. And again, I just feel like watching it, I was just imagining like some young 14-year-old kid who's a lesbian or gay or queer, and just sitting and watching it and feeling like, oh my god, like, oh my god, I'm going to see myself on the screen.
Yeah.
And then, absolutely not.
So this was a little bit different. So this is a film which has said explicitly in the press material that it has a gay character.
Okay.
And then these are the scenes with that gay character in. So
Oh god, I'm going to be so disappointed, aren't I?
this is Sulu in Star Trek. I'm going to get my glasses on because I've got to see the exact timestamp. So this is clip number 1.
Of our extended stay here in outer space. The personal sacrifices they have made. We continue to search for new
clip
life.
number 1. Clip number 2. Hang on, I wrote down the time code.
Oh no.
10:41.
What I hear is that the bars here are excellent.
So glad you guys.
That
that was, you know, it makes me really sad because even that little bit of a shred of a thing, I was like, oh, like I'm so happy to see, and the fact that like just seeing that little tiny moment where it was even like, it was not explicit at all, and just like, but in the first clip, like it shows a picture of just the daughter.
Yeah, it does, Callum.
And it's like,
yeah, it does.
if he's a gay character and you want to put that in your press tour, then why is it just a picture of the daughter? Why isn't it a family picture of them together, or a picture of the daughter and the husband?
Yeah.
And like, and when they do have that moment, if you're watching that, it could very much be like, oh, but are they gay? Is that his friend? Is that the uncle? Is that the brother?
I know a lot of people who thought it was his brother, and thought that the girl was either like the brother's daughter and niece, or it was his daughter, but it was staying with his brother while he was away. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you have a picture of both of them on your control?
It's the classic example of doing the absolute bare minimum.
I picked this outright, so I very specifically was like, this is that you have to watch now for the gay.
Yeah.
But I know people who went in and like had no.
I feel like I
definitely no one who hadn't heard the press before had any idea, and especially not. So my rule for representation is, whoever the target audience of the film is has to be able to know that that's what's happening without having heard anything about it outside of the film.
Yeah.
And Star Trek is a family film. Like, that is a film that the whole family is meant to be able to come and see. That's what the age restriction is on it, and I don't think any kids would have picked up on that whatsoever.
And the fact that, and I do feel like if you hadn't been like, okay, gays are coming, Callum, look at gays coming.
Look at the gays.
Like, it was literally like, blink if you miss it, and there was so many ways you could interpret that. And the fact that, like, we are people who, we literally work in an industry where we talk about representation and LGBT plus media all the time, and the fact that even we could miss that says a lot. Like, I feel like I've got like, eye like a hawk when I'm watching a movie, like, gays, where are the gays, and if we can miss it, then you know, you want a 10-year-old kid to be able to spot it.
I'd also like to point out the fact that we have just watched previous scenes of queerbaiting where the shows have said those characters aren't queer, and they've kissed. And they've sent each other flowers.
Yeah.
And they've had romantic swells of music.
Yeah.
And then we have this, which is meant to be representation. And we have fuck
all.
This is the character of Trini, or the Yellow Power Ranger from the new Power Rangers movie. And this was one of those ones that got announced in the news, or at large, that she was a queer character. And I think that people went thinking that they were going to get either like she was out, or that the movie itself was going to allow her to have a coming out story.
Yeah.
And like, this is the scene.
This is easier. Nobody ever has to get to know me, and my parents don't have to worry about my relationships.
Boyfriend troubles?
Yeah. Boyfriend troubles.
Girlfriend troubles?
My family is so normal. Too normal. They believe in labels. They'd like for me to dress differently, talk more, have the kind of friends they want me to have.
So like, basically that's how the scene goes. So it's like,
that was stupid. That was so stupid. I don't know if that's just like been poorly made or what, but that was so not clear. The way she's like, yeah, boyfriend troubles, and then out of nowhere, out of the sky, he responds with, oh, girlfriend troubles, and then she doesn't confirm it, and then she goes on to talk really in a really obscure way,
generic way about like, my family is normal.
Yeah, and it's like, speaking in riddles.
And I think that again, this is one of those ones that like, that this is like a family movie. This used to, but like teenagers would be watching this, and I don't think that if they'd have seen this, it's like, oh, it's kind of like revolutionary that we even get the mention of possibly girlfriend troubles in here. Cool, but like actually commit, especially because she's given a straight answer to the boyfriend troubles question, and especially because this doesn't then become a coming out story. Like it's not like this is just one scene that eventually becomes this coming out thing. And I think that I get that people might be like, oh well, they thought like this would be the first in a number of Power Rangers movies, and maybe it should come out in a later one. But I do think that like, with the context of queerbaiting, you can't just hint at nothing in the first one, because it's just as easy for you to be like, oh, that didn't test well, so we're just gonna, it's great, because now with the second one we can just not have that bit.
It's frustrating because they are trying to take a step forward in the right direction, and I do have an appreciation for that, but it's like, it's just been done so badly, and so they're being so safe with it.
And the thing about not liking labels, that annoys me so much, because there is nothing wrong with someone not wanting to label their sexuality, but to do that as representation and to get away with it by being like, oh, she doesn't like labels, so therefore we don't have to have her.
Say it.
I'm like, just because you don't like labels doesn't mean you can't articulate yourself, doesn't mean you can't have discussions with people, can't be open with people, or even if it's a closed off character, have, as part of her character arc, have her trust someone, have her have an actual conversation, because you can still explain in a sentence, like, so I'm confused about this, I kind of feel this way for someone but not for anyone else. I don't want to label it with a particular word, but I have been attracted.
How I feel,
like, not by liking labels doesn't mean you just don't use words ever to describe anything. It just means that there's not a particular label that suits you that's like gay, straight, bi.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I do think that as much as possible right now with the representation we have, we should be using labels, or at least having like those labels be discussed and offered up as options, and then it's like, and then explicitly saying how you feel, and not just being like, are you gay, straight, bi, and then being like, I don't like labels, and saying nothing else about it.
And then moving
that's
on.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So, you ready?
I have.
Here we go, the grand fucking finale. These two clips. So we're gonna start with. Do you want to start with Beauty and the Beast, or do you want to start with How to Train Your Dragon 2?
I have heard so much about the Beauty and the Beast thing.
Okay, here we go.
I've not seen it, and I know it's going to make me angry.
Okay, right. You ready for it?
Yep.
Are you ready for it? That was it.
That was it.
That was it.
Wow. Oh, that's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. All that hype about this movie having a gay scene. We get, what, a second?
And the thing is, I get the idea that it might have been like, the director has a throwaway comment in an interview where he's like, oh yeah, we have this little gay moment that we inserted in there, and then like, oh, it got blown out of proportion by the press. But I'm like, you have to know if you're making Disney. This was the only representation of LGBT people that the Disney studio made the entire year of 2017, because GLAAD just put their report out. There was no other representation, and that was what counted as representation.
It just... literally leaves me speechless. That's so frustrating. That's so unbelievably frustrating. It's not even noticeable. Like, people, what we've got to remember is when we do things like this, when we do reaction videos and when we talk about things like this in the context of what we're talking about it, you're really looking out for it, and you're really studying every single scene. That's not how people consume content.
No.
Like, we don't listen intently to every single thing.
You don't watch every single.
We don't watch every little scene. If I was watching that, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have even noticed.
Especially with this song, I can guarantee you, if I was listening to this and didn't know about it, I'd be fucking like belting the song. I wouldn't be like looking at the screen to be like, oh, it's a dance. Let's see who's dancing with each other. I'd have been like, beauty, like really intensely. So it's, no, completely agreed. Okay.
In the bin. Do better, Disney.
So this is from How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Wait, before you play this, I can already see that the time stamp for this video is 4 seconds. So very excited for this representation.
This was also announced previously filmed. This, I think, was actually the first like film-based version of this trend we're seeing, where it got announced beforehand. This is the first one that I was aware of.
This is why I never married. This and one other reason.
That's it. Do you want to see? I don't know if you missed that. Do you want to hear it again?
This is why I never married.
That's why I never married.
This and one other reason.
That was it. That was the entire
side-eye.
Apparently, entire thing.
Apparently, side-eye now counts as LGBT+ representation.
This is the main character, Hiccup. This is his random dad's mate. They are looking, in the context of the scene, they're looking at Hiccup's parents who have just reunited after years and years apart. And I think they're like, I can't even remember what the parents are doing. The parents are arguing, or they're being weird, or they're being gross or something. And Goober, whatever the fuck his name is, that pioneer of LGBT representation, is basically saying to him about them being gross, like, this is why I never married. Oh, this and one other reason. The one other reason apparently being that he's gay.
Because you can really read that from this scene. Because he
Absolutely.
looks to the right for one moment.
This is one of those ones. I think there are some of these where you're like, do you know what? We might see two men dancing and be like, oh, that we understand what gay people are, and therefore be like, oh, dancing with a man, okay, blah blah blah. This, not even that kids won't understand it. Genuinely, you didn't understand it, and we're here
and we watched it multiple
talking
times.
about it. You understand the context of this. I would never have known if I hadn't have been like reading all the gay media that was talking about this film. I would have no idea.
It's so stupid. And also, can I just add one final thing to this? Is that the reason that he never married is because he's gay.
Yes, that is
because
indeed.
that is also a great message to send out there. That's just brilliant.
I mean, they live in a Viking society, but it's also a Viking society with dragons, so it's
So,
not
you
historically
know,
accurate.
could change things up a bit.
In the movie, I remember watching this scene and thinking like, oh, this is the first hint of what's to come. Like
And then
this is,
nothing.
and then that was it. That was the whole thing.
I hate this.
I hate everything we've had to do tonight.
This is worse than just not having a gay character. You know, like
absolutely.
that does not count in any way, shape, or form. I just in the trash with this.
In the trash with all of it.
In the trash with all of it. Honestly.
So, I'm very sorry to have put you through that extremely stressful situation that we just had to go through and watch all of that trash.
I feel like I need to sit down and watch like a load of LGBT plus movies now.
Yeah,
you
like
know,
actual
ones
representation.
with actual like queer people existing.
They have those. If you want to have a chat about it, have a chat in the comments, we'll be there. Or just on any of our social media. The links will be in the description.
Yay!
So until I see you next time, bye!
See ya!